This is my favorite story of the day because I'm super excited about this, and that is that we are getting a adaptation of Metro 2033. And for those of you who don't know, Metro 2033 is this Russian kind of dystopian science fiction series that was successfully adapted into video games, really good video games. But now they're finally giving it the movie treatment. So this comes from Hollywood Reporter by Scott Roxborough. Headline: Gazprom Media to adapt sci-fi epic Metro 2033 as feature film. The film, like the hit video games, will be based on Dmitry Glukovsky's post-apocalyptic novel set in the Moscow subway tunnels after a nuclear war. And the books are really good. I highly recommend you check them out. Russia Gazprom Media has acquired the rights to adapt the post-apocalyptic sci-fi franchise Metro 2033 as a feature film. Dmitry Gluskovsky's trilogy of Metro novels has been a global bestseller, and the series was turned into a hit series of first-person shooter video games by 4A Games and publishers THQ. The novels and games are set in the ruins of Moscow following a nuclear war, with survivors forced to live in the city's underground subway tunnels. Gazprom subsidiaries TNT Premier Studios, TV3 Channel, and Central Partnership will team up on the feature film version of Metro 2033. There have been several Hollywood attempts to adapt Metro 2033. MGM picked up the rights to the first book in 2012 with Scott F. Fraser, Triple X, The Return of Xander Cage, attached to adapt the novel for the screen. It's probably a good thing he's not going to get a chance to do that. But the project was canceled reportedly due to Gluskovsky's insistence that the film be set in Moscow and not Americanized. Good for him. Filming on Metro 2033 is set to start next year with a January 1st, 2022 delivery date. Metro 2033 is my first novel. It played a very special role in my life, and despite getting numerous offers to screen it, I turned them all down for over 10 years, Gluskovsky said in a statement. But now I finally met a team that I can entrust Metro with. Our ambitions turned out to be similar: to create a world-class blockbuster and stun even those who have read the trilogy and know it by heart. Valery Fedorovich, who will produce Metro 2033, said that the books and video games have become embedded in the cultural code of sci-fi fans and gamers all over the planet. Fedorovich called Metro 2033 a dream project and said it was the most ambitious large-scale film ever launched by Gazprom Media. Now, the Metro series, it's a trilogy of books, so they have the template for a really good kind of dystopian science fiction action-adventure series here. Matt, what do you think of this news? Are you excited about this? Did you ever play the games?
Again, no, I never played the games, and I haven't read the books, but just judging from the article, it seems like something that's rife for making into a series of movies. I mean, I love dystopian nuclear fallout future type movies and stuff. I'm excited for it. It should be fun to watch.
Yeah, Tom, one of the cool things about the Metro series is that it's very claustrophobic. It's got a lot of horror elements into it because there are mutated rats and stuff in the tunnels. And there are all these fractured societies that are kind of like struggling against each other for resources and things like that. What do you think of the potential for this franchise to actually be a hit?
There's a good possibility for it. I'm not very familiar with it, like Mr. Fader. This is the first time kind of really hearing anything much about it. But if it's done well, it has potential. I mean, we've seen things like, recently, like even though Mad Max, the new Mad Max movie, didn't do as well in the box office, it was still really well received. A lot of video games set in the post-apocalyptic eras are very popular. It's a really great place to have fun in because you don't have a lot of the drawbacks of society. I mean, a lot of things that kind of kill the momentum of movies nowadays is like, oh, well, we got a cell phone, that'll fix everything. So there's always that problem. There's always, the little things like that. And the way society is set up to where a post-apocalyptic story is always ripe for anything to go down in, and if you got a situation like this that sounds really interesting, then if it's done well, it can do well. I mean, notoriously at the box office, I don't think post-apocalyptic films generally do well for some reason, but they still do have they do have an audience.
Well, much like The Witcher, this movie, it not only has a hardcore base of fans for the books, but also for the video games. The video games have been really good and popularized this IP. And I like that the author himself is kind of supporting this in the sense that, he refused to make it Americanized. He wants it to be kept in Russia. And the fact that Gamesprom is involved with TNT Premier Studios, is that a Marvel, or I'm sorry, is that a Warner Media thing there, Tom? Do you know?
If it's connected with TNT, the channel, then yeah.
Yeah.
TNT Studios, you said?
TNT Premier Studios.
Premier Studios? It would probably be then.
But I feel like that this is pretty exciting news, especially for fans of the series, to finally get to see this world realized.
Actually, it looks like it's its own Russian company.
Okay.
From the look of things here.
So Gamesprom is probably a Russian company as well.
Probably, yeah, because you can get the Russian site for Premiere, or you can get to the regular one. And it looks like it's its own thing.
Yeah, I wonder if this is going to be like a Russian language, thing, kind of like what was that one guy's films where Night Watch, I think it was called. You guys remember those movies, the Night Watch movies?
Not offhand.
Well, they were kind of the movies that launched the career of. Let me look him up, because he did a couple of big American movies that didn't do too well.
So it kind of reminds me more of what they used to do with like spaghetti westerns and stuff. Like,
Let me just go on IMDb real quick. It was like a Russian film. Who did Abe Lincoln, Vampire Hunter?
I can't remember the author's name now.
It wasn't the author I'm talking about. Timur Bekmambetov, the director. So he's the guy. He did Wanted, which was the Angelina Jolie movie based off the comic book. He also did the Night Watch movies. That's how I knew him. But I think his last movie was Ben-Hur, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah. So Ben-Hur was that huge disaster for Paramount. And
I'd forgotten they even remade that. That's crazy.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. It kind of reminds me of his movies, because Night Watch, it was a big Russian production. It was a big hit over in Russia. It was Russian language, and then it came over to America where it was dubbed and kind of like remastered. And it had a big theatrical release out here, and kind of launched Timur Bekmambetov, however you pronounce his name, his career in Hollywood. So I'm excited about this. Hopefully it'll come to America in some way, shape, or form, and we will get to see it in all of its Russian glory. Hey, thanks for checking out this video. I hope you got a lot out of it. And remember, if you want to support the channel, please check us out on the socials. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Matthew Kadish. You can also find our discussion group over on Facebook at eggfbgroup.com. That's eggfbgroup.com. Takes you right to our Facebook discussion group. And if you'd like to help support the channel, check out my books over on Amazon.com. You can find them by going to kadishbooks.com. That's KADISH books.com. And as always, subscribe to the channel and hit that bell icon so you're notified every time we upload a new video for more movie, TV, and entertainment news and analysis. This is Matthew Kadish. I'll catch you guys later.